How's it going? Now, I'm sure you've all, as I have seen on YouTube, there's people going around saying, I dare you to earn $1 crore, things like this. And then, you haven't got the right system, that's why you haven't done it. But I don't think that's really good. People are just going to fail at that because most of these gurus are making money from people coming back and going to the next guy because they don't have any good ideas for what to do with the system. And then it just breaks down and people don't make any money. They're back to square one. So what I'm going to do here is explain to you why you should get involved with me and a system called Aura of Intelligence. So, my name is Luke Nathan Hayes. I'm an Australian. I'm here in Delhi on a business visa. And I'm an artificial intelligence researcher. So, Aura of Intelligence and Gadra Earth are two of my many ideas, systems that I've been working on for quite some time that aren't yet registered as businesses or non-profit. Aura of Intelligence is basically taking the concept of auras and creating a computational architecture, a cognitive computational architecture for large language models and other generative artificial intelligence. Gadra Earth, on the other hand, Gadra being a flower garland throughout India and Asia, the acronym for that is Global Association for Joyful, Responsible Abundance on Earth. Let me say that again. Global Association for Joyful, Responsible Abundance on Earth. Now, I've just recently learned some news that I have to go back to Australia early from my visa for a funeral in the family. And as it happens, I'm all out of money and I can't afford to do this. So I'm about to show you all the tools that I have that I was setting up to do this business and several other businesses. Actually, there's 15, if you believe it, including earthquake prediction model using artificial intelligence, extended reality, virtual reality. We'll get into that later. But first, I'll show you the tools that I'm going to be selling if I have to. But hopefully, in the next half an hour, 40 minutes, you'll see why it's a good idea to invest in me and work together on a business system that's going to help save lives and make a lot of people money, moving towards universal adequate income and intermittent retirement and a try everything once workforce, where everyone becomes generally intelligent humans. Sorry, a little bit nervous. This is my second take. Yesterday I didn't have the microphone on. Duh. Anyway, this is my computer. Where are we? It is a Ryzen 9 12 core. It has 64 gig of RAM. It has an RTX 2080 Ti. Plenty good enough for running like AI models. Like I can run a projector, virtual reality. We come over here. Got this Vive Pro VR headset. We've got over here is this is a sublimation printer for printing mugs and caps and stuff like that. Here's one of the mugs, Gadra Earth, Global Association for Joyful, Responsible Abundance on Earth. And Aura of Intelligence is about building digital twins of body and mind, like an avatar. And then the Aura, which is based on a torus, kind of like what's on my shirt here, but a little bit different. This is artistic. The other one is programmatic. So there's a difference there. And yeah, so there's a lot of money locked up there that I can sell. I have several other laptops that I bought to build a team over here, but never actually got everything done. I'll show you my idols over here. All the ladies. There's another one on the top. Sarah Washtree. Because the world has been too much leaving the women out, and it's time to kind of balance things again, rebalance. One of the initiatives that I'm looking to start is called 500 Queens Venture Capital, which aims at, well, in the Western world, women in 2020 got about 2.9% of global venture capital, which I think is a bit of a joke. I'm sure the women think it's a joke too. So the concept there is to get VC funding for women to address long-term civilization planning, not short-term cycles for the 24-hour news cycle or for government, long-term civilization planning. The things that are going to, if climate change continues on its trend upwards, no matter what the reason is, whatever the cause is, we're going to have to rapidly change the functioning of our civilization. We're going to have to get more people that know how to stabilize our civilization and keep our cities running. So I see this. The first time I came up with this idea was I was living in Brisbane. I'm from Brisbane, and I was living in Festival Towers, which is a beautiful place built on the old Festival Hall, which was one of the premier entertainment venues of Brisbane for a very long time. And Queen Street, Australia's, maybe the world's richest woman, Gina Rinehart, had her offices in 500 Queen Street. And there was a place for rent. Yeah, all right, synchronicity, it's on Queen Street, 500 Queens. And then how do we get it bigger than that? We scale up. Okay, 500 times the G20. If there's a 500 Queens in each of the G20, that's 10,000 Queens. Well, where do we put a headquarters for that? In Brisbane, there's a multi-billion-dollar complex called Queen's Wharf. Like casinos, public theatres, public gardens, hotels, mega complex, right on the Brisbane River. Beautiful. Okay, put the HQ there. Sounds good. How do we go bigger? Okay. 100 countries, 500 Queens. What's that? 50,000 Queens. Venture capital. So I bought the ABNs. Couldn't get anyone. I didn't really try, actually, very hard because I didn't have the reputation to be doing something like that. And aura of the intelligence is my main jam, if you get it. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting carried away. Let's get back to the business of making you believe me that we can work together to make you money, me money, the world a better place, all in one game story. So, I'll just use a pen to point. I don't own my own house. I don't own my own car. I sold everything to come to India to work on this because aura's coming from the ancient Sanskrit teachings. So Buddhism, Hinduism, that kind of jam. I thought I'd come here and, out of respect, try and start this here. I understand Mr. Modi has set up a place in Gift City where there is the possibility of 10-year tax holiday for initiatives. I haven't dove into the details, so I'm not entirely sure. I just went to I found out about it. And so I want to be able to have my own residence, because where I am now this is my bedroom and my office. I have a sofa cum bed. That's a sofa cum bed hiding behind the green screen. So I have nothing to hide, no reason to lie. I'm just trying to better my financial position, get home to this funeral, and also help other people to better their financial position, and also their spiritual empowerment, happiness, feel like they're doing something good in the world, even if it's not the number one thing that they're doing, although I would love for some people to come in, like full-time, because there's 15 initiatives, minimum. And I'm not going to go into all of them now. You'll have to click through and make a donation. I'm not going to put like you can make 1 rupee, or by the end of this, you can put a larger amount. But there's a lot of executive positions that need to be filled if we're going to go forward with this. I believe that we can actually build artificial general intelligence within a 90-day period. And I want to do that 100% on the record. Cameras everywhere, biomarkers like smartwatches, continuous glucose monitors. If you're going to get into this, like, it'll be done in a 5 to 7 star wellness resort. So what people will be actually doing at the same time as building artificial general intelligence, not on the web, not on internet data, not like OpenAI or Google, that data is corrupt, flat out. You see all the trolls on every platform. Why would you train super intelligence on that data? It's like, it's got the best and the worst of humanity. Let's get into a closed environment that's totally recorded, all the right equipment, all the good people, and then go through the process of self-reflection into the idea of auras and digital twins, and then let's create multiple agents that then learn like humans do, through first copying the parents, not in the way that a lot of people do now, as in do what I say, not do what I do. That's causing a lot of dysfunction in society at the moment. A lot of people are just doing bad things, but saying, don't do what I do, do this, do this. It rarely works. Anyway, lost my train of thought going here. Let's not get too deep into AGI. I personally need some people to help me with my time management. I want to get a new business visa. My 1-year business visa expires July 26. So I only had like 80 days left anyway, but I've got to go within the next 9 to 11 days. I have to be gone. So I either have to sell these computers, or some people here have to believe in working together. Project managers, business development, there's so many options. Event management, there's this concept, because I'm living here in Sanjay Ratti's place, he's the founder of Space Development Nexus. I think that part of AGI needs to have a space component. We need to be looking at how to stabilize ourselves from climate change. We need to be going out into the universe at the same time. There's bigger patterns at play, like galactic patterns, that not many people look at. NASA's looking. I don't know whether they've actually seen what's going on in the patterns of the data that they're gathering, but there's obviously the Yuga cycles are at play. So, event management, there's Cosmic Nexus events, Aura of Intelligence events, and then there's also Gardra Earth and Earth festivals, Earth arts and music festivals. So lots of events. The Cosmic Nexus will be about going around India and Asia to all of the temples, looking at all of the iconography, understanding the spiritual science that's encoded in them, because there's lots. There's lots. Memory palaces, mind palaces, that's the original version. That's how you become really good at your mind. Understanding memory, feedback loops to make you higher and higher. It used to be an initiate thing, but now we have the opportunity through the internet for people who are clever, seekers, and don't hide from the wisdom that they find, to become elevated to the highest of highs. It's possible for most of us. Some people have injuries that won't allow them to do it, but even then, we're going to be able to use technology to heal a lot of the ailments and potentially even overcome most aging-related illnesses. It's possible that we could radically extend human lifespans indefinitely, but we have to go through periods of regeneration. And the Gardra Earth festivals. So if we're creating AGI and universal adequate income, like how do we distribute the power of that, and rather than like Microsoft or Google getting even more powerful, or a military corporation and a dictator taking over? Like even Vladimir Putin has said on the record, the person that solves AGI controls the world. It's that potentially powerful because everything runs on the internet now. We're in this, nearing the peak of solar sunspot maximum cycle 25. The peak will probably be next year when the sun's north pole flips to the south pole in a magnetic reversal. The sun's putting out lots more energy, like X-ray flares. They're called coronal mass ejections, when lots of plasma is discharged. And if Earth gets hit by, let's also say, that the Earth's magnetic field, the magnetosphere that protects us from the sun and from cosmic rays from the galaxy, has been weakening since about 1857, the Carrington event. Now, small flares are having a bigger effect at the moment. So we're having the aurora australis from the bottom and the aurora borealis in the northern hemisphere coming lower and lower latitudes with smaller and smaller flares. Now, that's because the Earth's magnetic field is weakening, and it's weakening at a faster rate. So if the sun, during this peak cycle, which is an 11 to 12 year cycle, whereby there's about 3 years of high energy, and we're just going, like, middle of next year is probably going to be the peak, and then we've got another year and a half after that. And if you look back through history, traditionally, there's a lot more fighting, war, confusion during solar maximums. But that's because people were never aware, and then they just had all this more energy and kind of confusion. They didn't know that they had to channel that. Now, if we can channel that through music, song, art, travel, instead of guns and bombs and swords, then the world calms down. And we can get on with stabilizing our civilization for this climate change. Like, you probably don't like to imagine, I don't like to imagine it, but if there's way more storms, droughts, cyclones, earthquakes, volcanoes, fires, all this jazz, what happens if the crop fails? Like, we're already seeing issues in Africa because of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. That expands. Like, if there's droughts or hailstorms destroy crops, like, we need to stabilize our food system. We need to stabilize our cities. We need to really work together. And I propose a blockchain. Like, the governments are already doing central banking digital currencies. I believe that's probably why they're doing it. Also to stamp out corruption, or at least make it harder to be corrupt or violent or human trafficking, all that kind of shit. But I believe that we should take that initiative, continue that initiative, but add other elements like Gardra Earth, like an AGI that everyone can buy into and believe in. But how do we get everyone to buy in and believe in it? So touch the microphone. My suggestion is that next year, during peak of solar maximum, July 2025, on the 40th anniversary of the Live Aid concerts, we have a globally synchronized music festival. By globally synchronized, the starting metrics I'm looking at I looked at a database on the computer website Kaggle. That's where they have competitions for machine learning and all sorts of coding. And they have a database there of different towns and cities all around the world. And there's about 40 to 50,000 towns and cities that are recognized as having roughly 10,000 people in them. It doesn't cost very much for outreach to 40,000 people. If we strategically target 40,000, 50,000 towns and say, hey, do you want to have a music festival where everyone's voting during the music festival? They're voting on the core values of the past, the present, and the future. At a personal level, at a family level, at a social level, a city level, however many times you want to vote, you vote on that, and it's about core values. And then we add another layer where everyone's using AI generating music generating AI, like Suno. If you go to my website, icinfinity.com, like ICSEE, you'll see some of the AI-generated music I've made. And if everyone's making songs about their own idea of the past, the present, and the future, then we have content for 3 days of music, art, and then we can use that as a data training set for the actual AGI. So in the resort where I was saying we build the AGI in 90 days, like we're just building the baby version. We're not giving it any training data to go big. We save that stage for the Earth having the vote on core values, past, present, and future. And then we can understand how super alignment between humanity aligning with itself, with this emergent super intelligence, or AGI, ASI, and the environment, and the rest of life on Earth. Like, it's far out, man. It's far out. I know. I am a little bit crazy, but hopefully in a good way. I spent a lot of time thinking about bettering myself, bettering any system I encounter. I don't automatically respect authority just because it's there. I observe it. And then I observe the environment that it's interacting with to see whether it's telling the truth, whether it's appropriate. And it served me well, to be honest. Like, I haven't traveled too many countries, but this is my 4th visa for India, and it's a land of extremes, like Australia, but it's got extreme population. And in Australia, we only have like 26, 27 million people on a land that's like 1.4 times the size of India. Bonkers, really. But I see this as a path forward that we can all profit from. The planet can profit. We can raise the levels of enjoyment all around the world and give hope. Because there's so many disturbed minds. Like, think about the youth. They've grown up with this internet, and they're basically little AGIs already. And then the adults are not listening to them because they grew up without the internet, and they have consumed far less information than the children have. Like, the statistics on how many people are committing suicide around the world because they've lost hope are frightening. Like, look them up. It is frightening. And another thing that having an aura of intelligence and a digital twin of your body, we can, while the doctors and researchers and clinicians are looking for cures to degenerative mind diseases like Alzheimer's, we can prolong the happy life of people that have early onset dementia or have dementia by giving them a digital twin of their body and mind that interacts with the social circle and their what do you call it? Daily programs, their care programs and their carers, that to help them have a better reality, prolonged interaction with society, because they constantly reminded of who they were, who they want to be, and that everything will flow a little more. And if they get on there early before they start getting the angry dementia, they're less likely to do the angry dementia, at least in my belief of this. So again, how many grants are available for that? Like tons of grants. I look at Australia's grants for the earthquake prediction model, $250,000 easy for Australia-India collaboration. We just need one research institution from each side and one business from each side. Plus then we need to get access to real-time data, not old data from NASA, ISRO, Roscosmos, European Space Agency, China, everyone get involved because that's saving lives again. So I can talk about this for hours because I've been working on this kind of stuff for about 10 years, off the record, not, like I've also worked, like I said, I'm not rich. I have been working in loads of different jobs. I never completed a degree. I thought it was too slow. I started environmental science, Bachelor of Science, left after, like, before the end of term one, really, to go bodyboarding and riding waves, big waves. The biggest waves I've ever ridden on my bodyboard are probably almost 3 stories. And that's scary as heck. Pitting myself against the beauty. People say that the terror of nature, but I call it beauty, bliss. Riding the vortex, riding the barrel, that was my favourite part. I did enjoy doing aerials, like hitting the lip on the smaller waves, not those big ones. But yeah, some of nature's fury to many people is nature's bliss to me sometimes. And yeah, there's lots we can do. There's so much money that can be made. This is only the tip of the iceberg, but it's all directioned towards joyful, responsible abundance, well-being, life extension, mental well-being as well, helping people to have hope again, or increase their hope, increase their self-love and their ability to resonate love to their loved ones. Like another thing that came out of COVID was an increase, at least in Australia, I predict it's in a lot of places, increase in intoxication from drinking and also an increase in domestic violence. People unable to communicate effectively during a stressful time. We also see this during elections. People unable to communicate effectively what they're observing or what they're feeling or what they're thinking. And another one of my concepts that I'd like you to also invest in is called gamified democracy. And I think that with the Gadra Earth initial coin offering and decentralized autonomous organization, that blockchain as tokens could be used to cut down on the fake news and use large language models to help people eloquently communicate what they're observing, feeling, and thinking. So that would stabilize society. We embed games so more people want to participate, and we elevate the conversation to a healthy debate. Not a he says, she says, I'm better than you, or you're a bad person, you're a bad woman, you're a bad man. Like, let's honestly think about this. I've put a lot of thought. I'm getting better at communicating it. Hopefully you're understanding me. But we need lots of people to get these started. This is not a one-man band. You can't do any of this stuff, one person, one woman. So, yeah, financial management, inventory management, skills development, relationship building, meditation, creation. There's lots of products within this, including like sleep masks with Bluetooth headphones, so that people can then create their own meditations when they're feeling down or they need a boost. Time out for 10 minutes. Listen, relax, meditate to your own meditation, not something that someone else has created. But have a large language model that's trained for that and knows you because you've built your aura. You self-reflected sufficiently that you've built an aura of intelligence that you can then be more in control of how you go up and down the emotional spectrum or the intelligence spectrum or the spiritual spectrum. So, if you think we can make some money out of this, make a good donation and come and spend some time, we've got to create courses, merchandise, uniforms and name badges, and we can create all sorts of different jewellery badges, like for jewellers. The meditation eye masks, we need to be working on the fine-tuning of all these different algorithms. So copying your own voice, creating your avatar, diffusion models, you're creating your own mind palaces, like these temples and the cosmic nexus, and creating event structures and social experiences. The original cosmic nexus idea I had was as a co-working space, that it was co-working by day and like using dual-purpose furniture, that it became a restaurant and a nightclub, members club kind of thing, where I'd like us to get enough money together that we buy out the bankrupt WeWork. If we get enough people together and buy WeWork for pennies on the dollar, and then we revive it, but get licenses from government to create these night venues and have it operating 24/7, 365, then we have places where everyone can be building these auras, having fun, getting to know people, getting to share their experiences, becoming generally intelligent, empathetic, and aligned with the bigger picture of stabilizing society, stabilizing the financial system, and stabilizing the environment and our own minds. Hearts and minds, people. Hearts and minds. So, lots of podcast conversations to be had. Travel experiences. If people are building these auras and digital twins, over time there's going to be a data set that can be shared with governments to decrease the time it takes to get a visa and to increase the government's trust in people on both sides, wherever you're going. I personally want to visit every single country in the world over the next 10 years. I've only been to like 9 countries. Networking conferences, mastermind groups. So I don't know how many people are going to respond to this. Like, who will resonate? I don't know. Maybe no one. I might have to just sell my stuff and fire sale at some computer shops. But if you resonate with this, please help. Please come. I'm in Delhi, Dwarka Sector 7 at the moment. And there's a lot of affiliate promotions that we can do as the audience grows. Like, there's heaps of software as a service that we can promote and get commission while we're organising our communication and our task management, our travel, our banking, all this kind of stuff. I don't have the money to do it. I've been doing it very ad hoc. That's basically why I haven't built a team, because I can't afford the software to manage the team or to allow the team to manage themselves. And I only have this one room as my bedroom and office and no money. Absolutely crazy. So many grants, but we need grant writers. There's too many grants. I can't write them all, and I can't get one unless I have a team. Prize competitions. Obviously, there's so many ways that we can have prizes. Angel investment compounds once they're registered, once these companies are registered. And then crowdfunding is like the initial coin offering on the Gadra Earth ICO. I have an ICO white paper written already. You can go to gadra.earth website and have a look at that. It's in my Google Cloud folder. It's a draft. It's not what will be listed. We need to vet. I would say very few of what are the ideas that I'm saying are communicating here are perfect and correct. They require a team to vet them and then see what stays and what goes. You know? So then we need some additional web development. I've been developing my websites by myself. I can't keep up with everything. There's just too much. There's apps to be developed. I have wireframes of some. There's games to be embedded in the Aura of Intelligence network so that people are getting more done, having more fun. And then that grows into the millionaire Aura concept and the billionaire Aura, where it's not about the people that have $1 million or $1 billion. It's about the people who have earned the respect of 1 million people or 1 billion people. And then they get more availability of communicating with these large audiences on the regular. There's additional smart contracts that need to be developed for these games and for different business systems. Lots of social media automation, content creation pipelines, e-commerce for all these different products, merchandise. And there'll be a marketplace that's like a foreign exchange, blockchain exchange, like cryptocurrency exchange, and these games and a marketplace all embedded in one. If it's feasible by governments, we can write the code, but whether it's agreed upon is a whole nother ballgame. The name I'm giving that at the moment is the Aura Affinity Marketplace and foreign exchange, crypto exchange. So all of this could be the seed or the beginning of the world's largest organization of people, money, and matter for peace in the shortest time ever. That was a goal that I had at the very beginning of this journey, back in about 2010, but that was ego-driven. It was still for a good reason, but it's morphed over that time. I'm no longer the naive young Australian. I'm a bit more of a worldly mind, spiritually stable, but I have my blowouts as well. I have my biases. I'm aware of them, most of them. And then, yeah, the space weather news, extended reality, AI, new studio and research centre for Earth observations, bringing all the academic papers on pre-earthquake signals to create earthquake predictions. There's thousands of papers now. Not many people have the inclination, interest, or time to understand this. But 2 days ago, with my custom GPT-4 model that I built for Cosmic Nexus for this earthquake prediction model, I analysed about 200 papers relative to this pre-earthquake signals, wrote a 120-page document. I already had been working on this 10 years ago, but we didn't have enough data to actually compute a proper earthquake prediction model. Now we do. We just need to get a few more people to do the game design, the 3D, create are already well on the way to creating the custom large language models to communicate through avatars to people that go in or look at it on their phone, and we'll create real-time news and warnings and alert systems to save lives all around the planet. But we've got to get the agreements, the memorandums of understandings, and then prove it, of course. The proof is in the pudding. So that means disaster risk reduction, so that UNDRR could support this. And we'll also find research gaps. So that then empowers the university students to go and fill those gaps, contribute to the story, doing unique research instead of unknowingly doing something that someone else has done before. We need to cut down on the repetition, the unnecessary repetition. Maintain the necessary repetition, but cut down on the unnecessary repetition. And this is putting all this research on blockchain can prove and enable peer review quickly, and we embed AI responsibly. Then we can make loads of money providing to the news and to education. And the governments can pay for the cloud services for the underprivileged that can't afford, and the people that can afford can pay a fair amount for access. And that'll all self-sort. So, here's a little, I made up a couple of one pages. I've got a few. You'll find them on my LinkedIn profile. Luke Catalyst Hayes. But I was looking at doing 1 month paid traineeships, Aura teacher training once we've built the next generation of Aura of intelligence. Not the AGI version, just a smarter, more wearable version. So you can have the Aura talking to you in your earbuds, on your phone, on your watch, whatever smart devices you have. If you get like Apple Glass or that Vive, when we get to a level of programming this system that you can just put it on, you can see and program your Aura, update it, connect all your social media feeds in, connect your Internet of Things, connect your digital twin so it can hop around and make its presence on the other end of the line. Like for your friends and family, they can have a copy, so when you're on a call, it's much lighter on the phone network and the internet network. Less compute. And that saves energy, which is a big thing. Capsule hotels. You know, in Japan and some airports and train stations, you see these sleep capsules. We want to build Aura of Intelligence empowered sleep capsules so that when there's lots of people traveling and staying cheaply in cities, they've got a place to stay where all their tech works. They can recharge everything. It's safe, it's air conditioned, it's designed to empower wellness as well. So there's an infinity of possibilities in that. Long-term civilization planning with the 500 Queens Venture Capital, Aura Global Homestays, which is about having people buy into the idea, either for rent like Airbnb or for free for traveling people that are playing the Aura game and have leveled up to a certain degree, so it would be a reward system, mosquito. And I personally like to travel, not be a tourist, where I stay with people that can share stories. Like couch surfing is an example, but the Aura Global Homestays would be like upper middle class to like quality, I mean, in the buildings. So there's also the possibility of these buildings being in the 100% always online, like the AGI. The AGI building system. That, of course, that's all optional because some people are worried about privacy while other people have nothing to hide and are willing to go all online. So there's a whole spectrum between total privacy, I want to control all my data, and being totally open, anyone can see. International outreach, like the 50,000 towns and cities for the Live Aid festival next year, and having, like I have a custom Gardra Earth GPT, that if anyone's got, they'll see a link at gardra.earth if you're going there to look at the ICO white paper. You can use it now and start coordinating or building. It's about helping people to streamline and to speed up creating events called the Earth Arts and Music events. So that could be as small as just getting a nightclub or a bar or some kind of small venue in a community hall and creating an event where people are having fun and sharing these ideas, whether for profit or not for profit, up to you. That GPT, Gardra Earth, will help you do it. I created some amazing things in a very short space of time. Tested, proved, done. And it's free as long as you've got a GPT-4 subscription to OpenAI. In the next step of Aura of Intelligence, it's about training open source models. And that then is completely free as long as you've either got a computer powerful enough to run them or you're paying for your own cloud subscription fees, which is, I believe, something that India is already looking at doing. They're doing 1,000 new data centers over the next 5-10 years. Like a friend of mine, RJ, he's always talking to me about View Now cloud particles. So, yeah, he wants tomorrow, I think he's coming, or Monday, try and set up a business with me called Las Vegas, which is the initials of a few people, to focus on import-export between Australia, India, and these cloud particles. So that will be another opportunity where you can invest through me to help me make some money by buying cloud particles that all these systems will rent out, and anyone can buy them. I think Mr. Modi was supporting it, or I don't know whether it was Modi, but some people in the different governments have been saying they support it because it's enabling people of lesser income to get rent for 10 years on buying these particles, where other people then rent the compute to do these things that I'm talking about, or similar. I think a lot of people in the world are just walking into these data centers with blind faith. They can see the power that's emerging, and they believe that it's going to be moving in the path of good, increasing good gradually, rather than going down to the depths of despair. Well, I think you can guess. I think we're incrementally increasing good in many, many ways. And if you want to support that, I'll put at the end of this video, or through the video, I don't know how I'll edit it yet, different ways. Actually, I don't have a bank account in India. So at the moment, the only way you can really send me money is via a PayPal account. Or unless you have some kind of way of transferring money into an Australian bank account. I don't know. I've got to work on that. So paypal.me, Aura of Intelligence is one, and paypal.me, Luke Nathan. So my name, my full name, birth name, is Luke Nathan Hayes. And for people who read into numerology, I was born at 8:15 in the morning from the location of Redcliffe City, Queensland, Australia, on the 3rd of December, 1982. So traditionally, I'm a Sagittarius. Officially, by looking at the star charts, I'm the 13th sign called Ophiuchus, or Ophiuchus. I don't know. And born in the year of the Chinese water dog. The Irish Celtic, which my way back heritage is Irish and Scottish. I believe my spirit animal is the hawk, or the kite hawk, like flying bird. If looking at North American, like Native American, I think I'm a deer. A doe, a deer, a female deer, Ray, I drop a golden sun. Anyway, my first name, Luke, means morning star, especially when you're born in the morning, or light giver, light bringer. Then Nathan, it's like Hebrew origin, means a gift, hence why I'm attracted to Gift City for this tax holiday, or gift from God, another possibility. And Hayes is kind of Gaelic origin, meaning a descendant of Ahod, which is Gaelic god, god of fire, the sun, and the underworld. Pretty trippy, hey? But I know, it's loads and loads of people in India are named after gods, and some are moving towards it, others are moving away from it. The ones that are in balance, hopefully doing a lot of good. But anyway, I digress. It's not really. I'll get back to this. There's so many opportunities here to build community, to build stability, to stabilize body, mind, soul, city, environment, earth. Let's explore this together. Help me not have to sell all my stuff to get home to this funeral. If I get home, like if I do that, I'm staying in Australia because I'll have to go back to work. I've had many jobs. I've got a HR truck license, forklift license, work at heights, elevated work platform license, confined spaces when I worked in the mines, done maintenance on the electric train lines in Brisbane, so power traction. Only did that for 1 year of a 4-year apprenticeship though. I set up music festivals in England when I was 21, Glastonbury. Love music festivals. Worked at Darwin Airport across the whole spectrum of airside services. So I had ASIC security license, license to drive, all the things. Had the headphones on, plugged into the bottom of the plane, talking pilots through their pre-start, engine pre-start. What else? Drive trucks for Australia Post, learnt the rail network. Worked in like supermarkets, in freezer warehouses with all the distribution of frozen food to different Woolworths supermarkets. I buggered up my elbows doing that. Like got tennis elbow, tendonitis. It was like a year off work and I couldn't play tennis, golf. I could barely carry my shopping bags. Absolutely buggered. That was when I moved to Festival Towers because I was getting paid workers' compensation. So I moved there, and then that was like where the 500 Queens idea came to it while I was injured. But I was a bit of an alcoholic at that stage, so didn't really make that happen. I was partying in Festival Towers a little too hard. See, I'm not a saint. I don't claim to be a saint. I just think through, I learned how to learn by doing a lot of jobs. I learned how to learn faster than most people, and I gave myself the time to utilize that skill. And along the way, I learned that to get more traction, you need reputation. And I didn't have a reputation. I had a reputation of a party animal, a ladies' man, had a lot of girlfriends. I'm not married. I actually have 6 children through being an anonymous IVF sperm donor in Australia. So I have 3 boys and 3 girls that I have no idea where they are. They're all being raised by different families. Fun fact, that I think that they'd be somewhere around 1 to 4, all of them at the moment. So if the world doesn't destroy itself and we keep going, then the law of this is that they can seek me out only if they want to. I can never find them unless I and they both do DNA tests, and I don't know. So I don't think about it very often. But in all honesty, this is like ultra transparency because I want you to believe in me, help get me my own house, give me some money so I can do some of these things and build a community that you're part of. And the whole idea of this ICO and decentralized autonomous organization is that I don't want to be in command. I want to gift it to the world. I want to enlighten, uplift, gift, and travel. Love and be loved. Care for and be cared for. Be cared for. Put the ED in the right word. So, that's me. Luke Nathan Hayes, founder, imaginary, daydreamer, seeker, dreamer, guide. Aura of Intelligence, Gardra Earth, Global Association for Joyful Responsible Abundance on Earth. And there's so many other initiatives. The 500 Queens Venture Capital, Gamify Democracy. What are the other ones? Aura Affinity Marketplace. Aura of Intelligence wellness products like drinks, Ayurveda, consumables like skincare. And I'm not going to give away all the details about it because there's some trade secrets as to why they're going to work better than the what's on the market at the moment, with basically having the same or similar products, but different techniques. And yeah, what else? There's lots more. I don't want to give away all the secrets. I want you to have some belief, come in. I'll turn sideways a bit and you can get the QR codes at the same time. Suck it in. Yeah. Look, thanks for listening to me for an hour. If you're still here, cheers. You're awesome. And hopefully soon we'll meet each other and we'll start to build these things. Not from here. I don't have air conditioning. It's hot as, and I don't want to be here when the Lu wind arrives, which should be any time now. I've been through it in 2019, just before I left, and it was excruciating being in Delhi when it's like 2 weeks of 50 degrees or more. Please don't make me do that. Please. Please no. Okay. I'm just counting down the clock now for 60 minutes. So, thank you again. I love you just because you made it to the end. And obviously I love everyone because we are one. We're just on this little blue planet Earth floating through space, guided by our golden sun. See the icons? There's more down here, but I digress. Bye.